yourself. Don't fall off of the shelf.
You must be the new boys in town.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the songs and animated kids movies that always send a chill racing up our spines, especially when we listen a little more closely.
When I think of what that brute did, I get a little tense.
Number 30, The Headless Horseman, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. What is it about older tunes that make them sound so spooky?
Just gather round and I'll elucidate on what goes on outside when it gets late. Long about midnight, the ghosts and banshees, they get together for their nightly jamboree.
Of course, the legend of Sleepy Hollow is supposed to be scary, but even outside of that context, there's something about the staticky recording and high-pitched backing vocals that feels disconcerting.
When there's no spook like Spook could spurn,
They don't like him and he's really burned.
he swears to the longest day he's dead.
In the second story of this anthology movie, Brom Bones narrates through song the tale of the Headless Horseman in order to scare Ichabod, and hopefully get him out of the picture when it comes to wooing a certain lady. Despite the rhythm being so upbeat, the lyrics and visuals are about as Halloween-y as they come.
So he rides one night each year to find a head in the hollow here.
Number 29, Waiting on a Miracle, Encanto. While I Want songs can sometimes be melancholic, Mirabel's is straight up eerie.
Hey, I'm still a part of the family, Madrigal, and I'm fine. I am totally fine. I will stand on the side as you shine. I'm not fine.
This is a family who's supposed to be tightly knit and so full of love and help to give. Waiting on a Miracle is our first real glimpse into just how much pain there is hidden in its members that's going unnoticed.
Can't keep down the unspoken, invisible pain. Always waiting on a miracle, a miracle.
Anyone in Mirabel's position would feel just as isolated as she does, and it's remarkable how much she tries to tamp down her heartbreak.
Don't feel regret or sad at all.
The final straw comes when she's left out of the family photo, and then we watch as our protagonist begs for her family to see her, with every plea falling on deaf ears.
All I know is I can't stay on the side. Open your eyes.
Number 28, Prince Ali reprise, Aladdin.
There's someone I'm dying to introduce you to.
Jafar, get your hands off her!
Prince Ali. Yes, it is he, but not as you know him.
This reprise is so unnerving because it takes such a buoyant song and contorts it into something sinister enough to fit the all is lost moment of the movie.
Say hello to your precious Prince Ali.
Or should we say, Aladdin?
Instead of Genie's happy, bright vocals, we get Jafar's low, menacing tones as he relishes in Aladdin's undoing, taking back everything Genie gave him. It's heartbreaking to watch Jafar puppeteer around someone who normally has so much energy and bravery. Genie looks so devastated as he watches Aladdin launched off into the distance, knowing he's powerless to do anything to help, and we're right there with him.
Ex-Prince Ali.
Number 27, Trust in Me, The Jungle Book.
Yes, man cub. So nice to see you again.
Snakes have long since been a symbol of deception as they recall the original sin of humankind. No animated serpent signals this as well as Kaa, the Indian python who intends to turn Mowgli into his lunch.
Go to sleep, please go to sleep. Sleep, little man cub.
We get a glimpse of his hypnosis techniques at the beginning of the film, but this time around, he's afforded more than just a creepy lullaby. Now the music is following his vocals as he lulls Mowgli into a sleep-like state.
You can sleep safe and sound.
Kaa's voice actor, Sterling Holloway, strings out every syllable he can, upping the audience unease masterfully, and making this whole segment one we never wanted to sit through as kids. Number 26, The Next Right Thing, Frozen 2.
What comes then when it's clear that everything will never be the same again?
Loss and grief are powerful themes to construct a song around, and some of the lyrics in The Next Right Thing demonstrate exactly that. Anna is broken and lost, and in a darker place than we've ever seen her before.
I've seen dark before, but but not like this. This is cold. This is empty. This is numb.
Of course, the song offers some genuine and realistic advice about moving through mourning, but that doesn't overshadow just how much pain there is. Kristen Bell conveys so much emotion through her voice alone, especially in places when it seems Anna is so shattered she can barely speak, never mind sing.
This grief has a gravity. It pulls me down.
It's the Frozen franchise's darkest moment yet, and only balmed by Elsa winding up okay. Number 25, Les Poissons, The Little Mermaid.
What's for dinner?
Oh, you're gonna love it. Chef's been fixing his specialty, stuffed crab.
As funny as it is for the audience, poor Sebastian's having the worst time of his life, traumatized by the sight of his fellow sea friends becoming dinner. He spends the song trying to stay alive, and also trying to keep his lunch down as the chef delights in chopping, dicing, and boiling.
First I cut off their heads and I pull out their bones. Ah mais oui, ça c'est toujours délicieux.
Unfortunately, it's not long before the chef notices the little crab, and he's soon prepped to join the other fish. That is, until the chef notices he's not yet dead.
Sacre bleu, what is this? How on earth could I miss such a sweet little succulent crab?
Sebastian was always operating way above his pay grade, but this is a whole other level of disturbing business. Number 24, Remains of the Day, Corpse Bride. Don't let the high energy of this song fool you. It's as macabre as can be. Remains of the Day tells Emily the Corpse Bride story, how she fell for a man who wanted nothing but her wealth and would end up murdered by him on their wedding night.
Now her mother's wedding dress fit like a glove. You don't need much when you're really in love, except for a few things, or so I'm told, like the family jewels and a satchel of gold.
Add in the reminder that, hey, we're all gonna end up dead someday, and we're all shifting around uncomfortably in our seats. With Tim Burton at the helm of this movie, ominous subject matter delivered through a cheery beat is right at home. Number 23, Sally's Song, The Nightmare Before Christmas. It feels only natural that Tim Burton and Henry Selick's stop-motion masterpiece would feature some unnerving ballads.
Time to give them something fun. They'll talk about for years to come.
It's Sally's Song, however, that goes a step beyond that and ventures into the territory of downright haunting. Much of the credit can be given to Catherine O'Hara's performance and her high, thin crooning.
I sense there's something in the wind that feels like tragedies at hand.
It perfectly matches the unearthly tone and content of the number, as Sally has a premonition, a terrible feeling that something bad is about to happen to Jack. The lyrics end with her mourning unrequited love and us trying to shake off goosebumps.
It's never to be calm, for I am not the one.
Number 22, One of Us, The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
Oh, where do I start? Kiara, Zira had a plot, and I was part of it, but I don't want to be, because I love you.
In the Lion King sequel, we follow a new generation of lions, Kiara, Simba's daughter, and Kovu, who was raised by a group of Scar's followers. It's a Romeo and Juliet tale until Kovu ends up framed for an attack on Simba. He asks to be heard and tries to explain, but Simba, who already had his suspicions, will hear none of it and exiles Kovu from the Pride Lands. This is the piece that accompanies that dire moment. The animals express feelings of betrayal and hurt, and the chorus of so many hymning together as Kovu is chased away becomes increasingly off-putting. Number 21, Worthless, The Brave Little Toaster.
You see? You never quite know what he's going to do. He's so spontaneous.
This is one of those movies you're not sure managed to ever be vetted for young audiences. We follow a group of abandoned appliances as they journey to find their owner and hopefully become reclaimed. Along the way, we get some truly harrowing moments, some of which are musical.
It's too late. we've got to operate.
Just try to relax. It's the House of Wax.
Although It's a Bee Movie is leagues beyond creepy, Worthless is even more messed up. It's sung by the old and run-down vehicles who are about to be crushed to death. They sing about their exciting pasts and lives full of life, only to end up here.
From Texarkana and east to Savannah, from Tampa to Oklahoma.
Number 20, Hi Diddle-Dee-Dee, Pinocchio.
What I said about temptation? Uh-huh. Well, that's him.
This is one of those songs that radiates It's a Small World energy. It's upbeat and deceivingly cheery, but there's something so downright unsettling about it at the same time. Maybe it's because we often associate older-sounding music with being creepy, or maybe it's because, unlike It's a Small World, we know for certain something sinister is going on in this scene.
I'm diddly-day, an actor's life is gay. It's great to be a celebrity, an actor's life for me.
Pinocchio, in all his childhood innocence, is being swindled by the typically shifty fox character. The scene radically exudes stranger danger. It only gets scarier once Jiminy Cricket catches wind of what's going on and we see his point of view through odd, distorted angles. At least Pinocchio is the only singing doll here.
Hey, no, you can't go.
Very good.
Number 19, How Bad Can I Be? The Lorax. Ah yes, the absolutely wild deviation from Dr. Seuss's standard formula. The number definitely goes harder than it needs to. And in all fairness, it doesn't start out so dark.
How bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes naturally. How bad can I be? I'm just following my destiny.
We've got a rainbow in the clouds, some impressive guitar playing, and some rather enthusiastic forest animals. But before long, the Onceler is slipping into Slytherin-reminiscent attire, and a sense of foreboding starts to build in this ridiculously catchy number. Axes fly, trees fall, and an almost comically realistic montage of corporate greed overwhelms the scene.
So I'm bigger in my company, I'm bigger in my factory, I'm bigger in my corporate sign. Everybody out there, you take care of yours, and me, I'll take care of mine. Shake that bottom line.
This song puts the term scaling into new perspective. A giant, towering Onceler is scarier than it needs to be, and the message is made even gloomier with the current state of environmental affairs IRL.
Who cares if a few trees are dying? This is also gratifying. How bad? How bad can this possibly be?
Number 18, Shiny, Moana. This is some great directing. Tamatoa, the giant coconut crab, not only looks menacing in his grandiose size and low-angle shots, he's also decidedly frightening with the lyrics he sings.
I'd rather be shiny, like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck and make it look shiny.
Make no mistake, Tamatoa doesn't care for glam and gold so much as he does his meals, which is the whole reason he prioritizes being shiny. It lures other animals who live in the sea, and the crab, in turn, has himself a nice lunch or dinner.
Don't you know, fish are dumb, they chase anything that glitters. Beginners. Oh, and here they come to the brightest thing that glitters.
Apparently, he isn't very picky with what comes his way, because he has every intention of eating humans and demigods too. He's about as subtle as the surface of his shell. We'll just say that.
You will die, now it's time for me to take apart your aching heart.
Number 17, Mad Madam Mim, The Sword in the Stone. Madam Mim's character design is already terrifying enough, never mind when she begins to sing and dance.
With only a touch, I have the power. Zim, zap, rim, bim, do wither a flower. I find delight in the gruesome and grim.
We've got yet another case of supersizing, which always succeeds in startling us, but the tiny bird-sized Madam Mim is pretty unnerving too. As if that wasn't enough, we quickly get to see just how far her shape-shifting abilities extend.
Boo! Oh, you see? I win! Aren't I hideous, boy?
So what's the verdict? Do we think she's creepier with a pig snout, or as the beautiful lady that so obviously has something unnatural about her? Our vote goes to the cat form, but anything with those piercing green eyes and shrill voice is bound to give us the heebie-jeebies.
I'm an ugly old creep! The magnificent, marvelous, Madam Man!
Number 16, the Siamese cat song, Lady and the Tramp. Though the song itself definitely has not aged well, Peggy Lee is a voice we always associate with warm, full, strong exuberance. Nothing like the high, thin voices of the Siamese cat twins from Lady and the Tramp.
We are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please.
The unearthliness of the characters can probably most be attributed to their designs and how they move so fluidly in sync. Although the song really isn't very long at all, it's awfully recognizable, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a fan who doesn't hear the well-known lyrics in their minds when faced with an actual Siamese cat. We're not sure if all Siamese cats are as sneaky and slippery as these two, but this song certainly made our younger selves believe as much. Number 15, Sleeping Beauty, Sleeping Beauty. This is a rather beautiful but spine-chilling melody. The scene begins with the three good fairies lamenting over Aurora, who's just succumbed to her 100-year sleep. While dark or creepy aren't the first adjectives you're likely to use to describe the sound, it still carries a weight that always seems to make our hearts heavy.
Poor King Stephen and the Queen. They'll be heartbroken when they find out.
They're not going to.
They aren't.
But we'll put them all to sleep until Rose awakens.
It's undeniably eerie watching the fairies put the whole castle into a quiet, morose slumber. The idea that the whole kingdom will come to a standstill for the next century is pretty dark, especially when you consider the only people who would have been awake for the duration of it. By the time the last candle has been delicately snuffed out, we're left with goosebumps.
Till then, sleeping
Number 14, Heffalumps and Woozles, Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day.
They're green, they're blue, they're pink, they're white, they're round, they're square, they're a terrible sight.
If you feared astral projection since you were a kid, we may have some answers for you. As he falls asleep, we see Winnie the Pooh transported into a nightmare sequence that goes a few steps past unsettling. Heffalumps, in case you're curious, are the elephant-like creatures you see in the sequence, while Woozles are the ones sort of resembling weasels.
They come in ones and twosles, but if they so choosles, before your eyes you'll see them multiply.
The latter are actually known for stealing honey, which certainly puts the dream into a bit more context for the character. The talent of the composers is apparent, and we bet they had a ton of fun crafting this bit, but it was a lot less fun for us and Pooh Bear. Poor thing, look at him, he doesn't deserve to be scarred like this.
They're far, they're near, they're gone, they're here, they're quick and slick, they're insincere. Beware, beware, beware.
Number 13, Pink Elephants on Parade, Dumbo.
Look out, they're walking around the bed, on their head, clippity-cloppity.
Yeah, so this is terrifying. The whole trippy, psychedelic art style would have maybe been okay on its own, if not for the very weird imagery accompanying it. Plus, they managed to make the music sound so foreboding, our stomachs are twisting uncomfortably even now.
I can stand the sight of worms and look at microscopic germs, but Technicolor pachyderms is really too much for me.
If you've got very young children, do them a favor and don't let them watch Dumbo until they're just a little bit older. You remember the scene of Dumbo crying over his mom, right? The trauma is strong with this one. Like, seriously, what is that grotesque elephant head monster? We're good to never see another pink elephant again, thanks.
Chase 'em away, I'm afraid. Need your aid, pink elephants on parade.
Number 12, Mother Knows Best, Tangled. As far as villain numbers go, this is definitely one for the history books. We obviously knew Mother Gothel was evil before this, but her song shows us exactly how she scares Rapunzel into compliance, and likely how she's been doing it since she kidnapped her.
Ruffians, thugs, poison ivy, quicksand, cannibals and snakes, the plague.
No,
yes,
but...
also large bugs, men with pointy teeth, and stop no more, you'll just upset me.
The worst part is that, while she's exaggerating, Gothel definitely isn't lying. The world's a scary place. Of course, the role of a parental figure or guardian is to teach their kids to navigate that scary world, not fear it so badly they never want to leave.
On your own, you won't survive. Sloppy, underdressed, immature, clumsy, please, they'll eat you up alive.
Another example of fabulous directing, this scene plays wonderfully with lighting, shadows, and lyrical cues. Still, the spookiest part of it is watching Gothel's maltreatment of Rapunzel play out right in front of us.
You regret it, mother knows best.
Number 11, My Lullaby, The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
A symphony of death, oh my, that's my lullaby.
There's a lot to be put off by in this scene. For one, young Kovu doesn't deserve to be manipulated by Zira, especially not when he's just a cub. For another, Zira's lyrics, when you really pay attention to them, spell out some pretty nasty desires. Not only does she long to kill Simba, but his wife and daughter are mentioned too. Actually, she makes no attempts to hide her ideal outcome.
Oh, the battle may be bloody, but that kind of works for me.
It doesn't get much darker than that. The rest of the song goes on to detail how she'll raise Kovu to take his vengeance and turn him into a killer.
And then our flag will fly against a blood-red sky. That's my lullaby.
Yeah, we don't really feel like dozing off right now. Number 10, Friends on the Other Side, The Princess and the Frog.
I can read your future. I can change it around some too.
Voodoo Man Dr. Facilier is here to facilitate your dreams.
I got voodoo, I got hoodoo, I got things I ain't even tried. And I got friends on the other side.
While trying to rope Prince Naveen into his dark schemes, Facilier sings this seductive song telling him about his past, present, and future. It may seem that Facilier is showing Naveen the future he dreams of, but when you listen a little closer, he is actually predicting Naveen's fate as a frog.
You just want to be free, hop from place to place. But freedom takes green.
It's never said explicitly, as Facilier simply refers to the source of his powers as his friends from the other side. When his voodoo dolls, masks, and talking heads join in on the spooky rhythm, it is clear he's talking about evil spirits.
You can blame my friends on the other side. Now what you want?
Number 9, Toxic Love, FernGully, The Last Rainforest.
Oil and grime, poison sludge.
The humans have gone too far. They've caused so much pollution that the evil spirit Hexus uses all the smog and oil to resurrect his powers. Don't let the song's bluesy beat, smooth sax, and Tim Curry absolutely giving this song distract you from the disturbing message. The entire movie, and this song in particular, warn against the true cost of pollution and deforestation.
Greedy human beings will always lend a hand with the destruction of this worthless jungle.
As Hexus prepares to ooze all over FernGully, he sings this love song to all the animals he'll consume, the trees he'll destroy, and most importantly to the greed of humans that brought them together.
You love my toxic love.
Number 8, The Mob Song, Beauty and the Beast.
So it's time to take some action, boys. It's time to follow me.
Also affectionately known as Kill the Beast, this song shows how mob mentality takes over and turns the townspeople into a murderous horde. Much like how real-life incidents of mob violence begin, this tune starts as a whisper, rumors passing between the townspeople, and quickly erupts into a rallying cry by Gaston to storm the castle and kill the beast.
We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us, and this monster is mysterious and please.
Gaston plays on the townspeople's fears and calls to them to literally grab torches and pitchforks, like a scene straight out of any classic monster movie. Number 7. Savages, Pocahontas.
What can you expect from filthy little heathens? Here's what you get when races are diverse.
Governor Ratcliffe has been looking for the perfect justification to invade Chief Powhatan's land, and now he has it. After an altercation between John Smith and Kocoum that results in Kocoum's death, John is taken to pay for his crime. Ratcliffe wastes no time sounding the drums of war, with the Native Americans following suit to defend themselves. Though it isn't handled with the most sensitivity or nuance, what makes this song so dark is how deeply rooted in truth it is.
Savages, savages, they're even human. Now we sound the drum.
It's a pretty heavy message in a kids' movie that wars are fought because cultures distrust each other simply because they're different.
They're not like you and me, which means they must be evil.
Number 6. Be Prepared, The Lion King.
I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside.
As green smoke billows from the ground, Scar walks straight towards you. So close it almost feels like he's going to walk right out of your screen. Scar is not a subtle character, and there's no beating around the bush when he sings flat out about murdering his own brother and nephew to take their throne.
Idiots, there will be a king.
Hey, but you said
I will be king. Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again.
Like any good tyrant, he promises his subjects extravagance in exchange for their support and obedience. Dark and creepy are definitely two descriptions for this song. Scar is as menacing as ever, and the mise-en-scène perfectly conveys just how dangerous the character is.
Yes, our teeth and ambitions are bared. Be prepared.
Number 5. In the Dark of the Night, Anastasia.
In the dark of the night I was tossing and turning, and the nightmare I had was as bad as can be.
Rasputin, the evil sorcerer, tried and failed to destroy the entire Romanov line. As punishment, he was sentenced to an eternity in purgatory. When a new opportunity to complete his dark purpose arises, he goes off on this evil villain soliloquy about how he tried to kill Anastasia as a little girl, and is now back to finish the job.
Little Anya, beware, Rasputin's awake.
Though the somewhat campy visual of his minions acting as his backup singers and dancers is a bit disarming, it's overpowered by the terrifying imagery used throughout the scene.
She'll be mine!
Once Upon a December is also worth a mention. Despite how delicate and beautiful it is, Anya is dancing with the ghosts of her past, people who were very likely murdered during the siege of the palace.
Once upon a December.
Number 4. Poor Unfortunate Souls, The Little Mermaid.
I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch.
Ursula the Sea Witch only wishes to help those poor unfortunate souls get their heart's desire, or so she tricks Ariel into believing.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need.
The interesting thing about this song is that Ursula never technically lies to Ariel. She manipulates her into signing over her voice by telling her the truth. She confesses that she has punished those who could not pay her price.
Now it's happened once or twice. Someone couldn't pay the price, and I'm afraid I had to rake 'em across the coals.
She even shows her the gruesome fate that has befallen her previous clients, and Ariel signs anyway. Ariel may think she's making a fair trade, but she's really signing away her soul to Ursula. Number 3. This is Halloween, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
This is Halloween, pumpkins scream in the dead of night.
In a movie that's basically a horror flick for kids, all of the songs are pretty creepy. But what else would you expect from a collaboration between Tim Burton and Danny Elfman? There's a lot to simultaneously love and dread in Jack's Lament, but we had to give this entry to the famed This Is Halloween. The song serves as an introduction to all of the terrifying creatures in Halloween Town.
Life's no fun without a good scare.
That's our job.
But we're not mean in our town of Halloween.
It definitely had us checking under our beds and beneath our stairs before we went to sleep. With this spooky number as one of the first songs in the movie, it makes it clear you can expect this level of creepy from here on out. Number 2. The Plagues, The Prince of Egypt. To punish Ramesses for enslaving the Hebrews, God has put plagues upon the people of Egypt. In this song, Moses pleads with Ramesses to let his people go. But there is another part of this tune that lies beneath the surface of the conversation between the two feuding brothers.
Once I called you brother, once I thought the chance to make you laugh was all I ever wanted.
It is the plagues creeping into Egypt. The voices start out as a whisper and grow more and more intense with each coming evil. Just as frightening as the lyrics are the images of frogs emerging from the river, locusts swarming the fields, and people being covered in boils.
Thus saith the Lord,
I will not let my people go.
Deliver Us is a song equally as haunting, and the accompanying visuals do little to reassure us. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Hellfire, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud.
It may have gone over your head as a kid, but when you listen to this song as an adult, you realize just how dark it was for a kids' movie. Judge Frollo has fallen in love, or rather, lust, with Esmeralda.
I feel her, I see her, the sun caught in her raven hair is blazing in me out of all control.
Naturally being a righteous man, none of this is his fault. The blame is all on Esmeralda for tempting him into sin. In this tune, Frollo sings about his uncontrollable thirst for Esmeralda. He will make Esmeralda his, or she will burn on the pyre and continue to burn in hell.
Destroy Esmeralda, and let her taste the fires of hell, or else let her be mine and mine alone.
Just your average love song, right?
She will be mine, or she
Which song still creeps you out? Let us know in the comments.
Trust in me, and just in me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.